Did you know that we are living in a time of great signs announced by God in the scriptures? How are you preparing for what is coming next? The world feels uncertain, wars rage, economies falter, and moral values shift. Yet the Bible speaks clearly about these times. In the Gospel of Matthew chapter 24, Jesus warns us to stay vigilant, saying, "Watch, for you do not know the hour." Are you ready? What would you do if you knew Christ's return was closer than ever? Today we will explore 10 biblical prophecies that may be unfolding right before our eyes. Stay tuned. The world today feels overwhelming. Wars rage, economies falter, and moral values seem to shift daily. Many of us feel lost in the chaos, searching for answers but unsure where to turn. The Bible speaks directly to this uncertainty, warning us about a time when humanity would face unprecedented challenges: wars, famine, disease, and division. Yet how many of us truly understand what these signs mean for our lives? We live in an age of distractions, consumed by technology, materialism, and the pressures of daily life. Amid this noise, it's easy to overlook the spiritual warnings around us. But what happens when global tensions rise, natural disasters strike, or leaders emerge with promises too good to be true? Are we prepared for what comes next? The lack of awareness about biblical prophecies leaves many vulnerable, spiritually unprepared for the trials ahead. The real question isn't just if these events will happen, it's how we respond. How can we live with wisdom, faith, and hope in such turbulent times? Let's explore these questions together as we uncover the truths hidden in Scripture. The Bible reveals critical truths about the end times, and today we'll explore them together. From the sudden disappearance of millions in the rapture to the rise of a deceptive global leader, the Antichrist, will uncover what these events mean for you. We'll also examine the mark of the beast, a global control system, and the final battle at Armageddon. Finally, we'll discuss Christ's glorious return, a moment of ultimate hope. By understanding these prophecies, you'll gain practical insights on how to prepare spiritually and live with purpose in these uncertain times. Stay tuned. What would you do if millions vanished in an instant? Imagine waking up one day to find millions of people suddenly gone without explanation. Cars abandoned, planes unmanned, homes empty, chaos everywhere. This is the rapture, a biblical event where faithful are taken from earth before the darkest times unfold. It's described as happening in the blink of an eye, with no warning or second chances. The world will be left in shock, scrambling for answers. This event isn't just a distant prophecy, it could happen at any moment. Are you ready? Reflect on your priorities now. What truly matters in light of eternity? The rapture reminds us that life is fleeting and preparation is key. Stay vigilant, because what seems far off may be closer than we think. What if a leader promising peace hides dangerous intentions? In the aftermath of the rapture, a charismatic figure will rise, offering solutions to the world's chaos. Promising unity and prosperity, this leader, the Antichrist, will deceive millions. Under the guise of peace, he will establish control, demanding loyalty and worship. Today, we see movements pushing for global cooperation and a new world order. While these ideas sound appealing, they often come at the cost of freedom and sovereignty. Leaders who speak of unity sometimes sow division, and policies framed as solutions can lead to greater instability. History shows us that power can corrupt, and promises too good to be true often have hidden agendas. Be cautious. The Bible warns us to discern truth from deception. Trust in God's wisdom, not in human promises. In the time of the apostles, there were already many antichrists. The Antichrist is not only someone who is against Christ, but also someone who takes the place of Christ, posing as a substitute for the Son of God, or placing themselves in the role of the Son of God. Many religious leaders have used and continue to use titles such as Supreme Pontiff, Leader, Chief, or the principal bridge connecting God to humanity. However, this role belongs solely to Jesus Christ. He alone is the bridge that leads us to the Father. There is no other person and no other way. Salvation is not related to works or religion. It is rooted in grace, mercy, and continuous faith. The Bible speaks of the Antichrist and also mentions antichrists in the plural. These are individuals who, in reality, act as precursors to the Antichrist. A parallel to this can be found in the first epistle of John, chapter 2, verse 18. Dear children, this is the last hour, and as you have heard that the Antichrist is coming, even now many Antichrists have appeared. This is how we know it is the last hour. Notice carefully, many have made themselves Antichrist plural. These individuals are deliberately choosing the path of error, the way of sin. They are wicked people influenced by Satan. Even in the days of the early Christians, there were antichrists. This Antichrist is symbolized by the rider on the white horse in the book of Revelation, chapter 6, who clearly is not Jesus. This white horse will come alongside others representing famine, death, and war. When the Antichrist appears, it will mark the beginning of the Great Tribulation. The beginning of sorrows is already happening and will progressively intensify. Jesus, on the other hand, is the rider on the white horse in the book of Revelation, chapter 19, coming as the victorious King of Kings and Lord of Lords. Imagine needing a specific mark to buy food or work. The Bible warns of a time when no one can buy or sell without a mark, the mark of the beast linked to the number 666. This may sound like science fiction, but today's technology brings us closer to this reality. Digital currencies are replacing cash, biometric systems track our every move, and microchips are being developed to store personal data. Governments and corporations are pushing for global identifications and surveillance systems, eroding privacy further. What seems convenient today could become a tool of control tomorrow. The infrastructure for such a system is already in place. Your freedom is at stake. What will you prioritize? As privacy fades, focus on what truly matters: your faith, values, and relationship with God. In the book of Revelation, chapter 16, verse 16, we read about Armageddon, a climactic showdown in the Valley of Megiddo. This battlefield holds deep biblical significance, symbolizing the ultimate clash between good and evil. Today, tensions in the Middle East echo this prophecy. Conflicts over Jerusalem, rising global powers, and shifting alliances are setting the stage for a massive confrontation. The Bible warns that this will not just be a physical war, but also a spiritual one. It will test humanity's faith and wisdom like never before. As we see nations posturing for control and disputes escalating, it is clear the groundwork is being laid. Are you prepared to stand firm amid chaos? This battle reminds us to trust in God's plan while staying vigilant in prayer and purpose. Damascus, one of the world's most ancient cities, holds a chilling prophecy in the book of Isaiah, chapter 17. The Bible declares it will cease to exist as a city, reduced to ruins. For decades, Damascus has been a battleground, with civil wars and airstrikes leaving scars across its landscape. Recent conflicts in Syria bring this prophecy closer to fulfillment. Once a symbol of power and resilience, the city now faces the possibility of total collapse. This destruction reminds us that nothing in this world is permanent. Empires fall, cities crumble, and material wealth fades. Instead of clinging to temporary things, focus on eternal value, faith, love, and your relationship with God. What truly matters cannot be destroyed. War, famine, pestilence, and death, are they already here? In the book of Revelation, chapter 6, the four horsemen symbolize conquest, war, famine, and death forces that bring devastation to the earth. These aren't just ancient warnings. They resonate deeply with today's world. We have witnessed global health crises, widespread food shortages due to climate change, and escalating conflicts fueled by modern weaponry. Rising temperatures, droughts, and floods devastate crops, while wars displace millions, leaving suffering in their wake. These signs are not just predictions, they're reminders. They urge us to care for one another, seek solutions to global crises, and live with compassion. The four horsemen may seem distant, but their shadows are already visible. Are we ready to respond with wisdom and action? What if the earth is consumed by fire? The Bible speaks of a day when the heavens and earth will be destroyed by fire, a final purification of all that is corrupt. While this prophecy carries spiritual meaning, it also resonates with modern realities. Today, the threat of nuclear war looms large, with tensions between global powers escalating. The Bible speaks of a great collapse. Babylon, a symbol of wealth, decadence, and moral decay, will fall. Today, we see parallels in our world. The global economy is increasingly unstable, with growing inequality and widening gaps between the rich and poor. Nations are burdened by debt and financial systems are vulnerable to collapse. Consumerism and greed dominate, while many suffer in poverty. This prophecy warns us not to place our trust in wealth or material success. Money is temporary, but values like faith, love, and integrity endure. When systems fail, those who prioritize eternal truths will stand firm. Don't be deceived by the illusion of prosperity. Seek what truly matters. As the world's foundations shake, let your focus remain on lasting values that no economic collapse can take away. What will it look like when justice and peace finally come? After all the chaos, destruction, and suffering, the Bible promises a moment of ultimate hope, the return of Jesus Christ. In the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 24, verse 30, Jesus declares that he will come on the clouds of the sky with power and great glory. This event will mark the end of evil and the beginning of God's eternal kingdom. Every injustice will be made right, every tear wiped away, and true peace will reign forever. For centuries, faithful have waited for this promise to be fulfilled. Today, as we see signs of turmoil, wars, natural disasters, moral decay, it feels closer than ever. The return of Christ isn't just a future event, it's the anchor of our faith. It reminds us that no matter how dark the world becomes, light is coming. So how should we live in light of this hope? With purpose. Every decision, every act of kindness, and every moment spent seeking God matters. Live each day knowing that a better future awaits, a future where justice prevails and peace reigns eternally. Now is the moment to reflect deeply on where you stand in your spiritual journey. The world is changing rapidly, and the signs of the end times are all around us. Wars, natural disasters, moral decay, these are not just headlines. They are reminders of what's coming. But the real question isn't just if these events will happen, it's how you're responding to them. The Bible calls us to action. In the Epistle of James chapter 4, verse 8, it says, "Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you." This is a promise we can hold on to, especially in uncertain times. Do not wait for tomorrow to deepen your faith or seek God's guidance. Tomorrow is not guaranteed. True transformation begins today with every prayer, every act of kindness, and every decision to trust God over fear. We cannot afford to ignore these warnings or delay preparing our hearts. The signs are clear, and the time to act is now. Let this be the day you commit to living with purpose, trusting in God's plan, and standing firm in faith. Remember, the choices you make today shape your tomorrow. Transformation begins now. Don't wait for another day to start. As we reflect on the 10 prophecies, we have explored the rapture, the rise of the Antichrist, the mark of the beast, Armageddon, the destruction of Damascus, the 4 horsemen, purification by fire, the fall of modern Babylon, and Christ's return. It is clear that these are not just ancient predictions. They are warnings, promises, and realities unfolding before our eyes. The signs are all around us: global tensions, moral decay, technological advancements, and environmental crises. These events remind us that the world is changing rapidly, and we must remain vigilant. But amid the chaos, there is hope. Faith in Christ stands as the firm foundation of our certainty. His return is not merely a future event, it is the ultimate promise of peace, justice, and restoration. Let this truth inspire you to live with purpose, courage, and unwavering trust in God's plan. If this message resonates with you, take action now. Subscribe to the channel for more teachings, share this video with others, and stay spiritually prepared for what lies ahead. Together, let's remain watchful, hopeful, and ready for the days to come.